So I haven't posted a YouTube video in about 2 months because I don't even recognize myself anymore. In these past 2 months, my life has changed so massively that I had to try and find myself again before I could make another video. And no, there wasn't anything traumatic that happened or anything negative that had a big impact on me, but I had just learned and realized so much through the experiences that I've had that I really needed to sit down and reflect on everything. And as 2026 rolls around, I spent 5 hours journaling to reflect on everything that I have learned and experienced in 2025 and the visions that I have for 2026. I booked a villa for vacation, but I seriously needed a change of scenery to be able to actually talk about this with a clear mind. Because for the past month or two, I've come to realize just how quickly I've grown. I have felt a sense of gratitude and a level of wisdom that has completely changed me as a person. And for the first time in so long, I currently don't even care about making the most amount of money as soon as possible. And this is something that I wish I had realized earlier, or more so taken seriously earlier, because money is not something that you can just chase and acquire. Because when you do that, it will never be sustainable long term. And that is because money is a side effect. It's not a cause that you can actually build. And that's when I came to realize that with this entire online space, yes, you can talk about make money online, but it creates a perception and an illusion that everybody falls into until they don't realize what they're truly getting themselves into. Making money online isn't just about doing something easy and having money magically pop up like that. You need to build something real. And for you to build something real, you need to provide an immense amount of value. That's why recently I literally told myself, I don't even right now want to focus on making money. I just want to focus on building the best system for my business and give the best value for my clients and for my audience, just as this YouTube video. And that's when you really start to focus on the input instead of the output that you can't control. Because by the law of the universe, for everything that you input, you will get an equal and opposite output. So if you are not getting the output, or if you're not getting the results that you want, you need to stop trying to chase the output and you need to start looking inwards at what you are doing. And that is when you truly take control of your life and determine the results that you want by aligning what it is that you do with the result that you want. Because at the end of the day, the quality and volume of your output or the results that you get is determined by the quality and the volume of your input or your work. Now, the second main lesson that I had learned within 2025 is that information is dangerous. Because in this world where information is free, you get access to so much information online, and especially within the online space, in the info space, to the point where you get overwhelmed and you don't even know what's right or wrong. There are so many coaches out there, there are so many consultants and figures and gurus who are telling you what it is that you need to do and what it is that you shouldn't do. So you need to genuinely decide who it is that you align with the most, who is in the position that you want to be in, and actually follow them. If, for example, you're trying to start an online coaching business, don't go ask an influencer who has 500,000 followers but no product that she sells how that's done. And I learned this because I had spent so much money hopping on calls with different coaches, different people, trying to get this magic answer to my situation. And I'm telling you, all of them told me something different. People can only tell you what has applied to them, and people can only tell you what has worked for them, but nobody will be able to actually tell you what works best for you. In some situations they can, but a lot of the times they won't. So make sure that you actually learn from someone who will tell you the straight up truth based on your story and not based on what it is that has worked for them. Unless you're getting one-on-one coaching where you are getting a personalized roadmap, you're gonna be hearing information from all these different places and you won't even know what what's right and wrong. The third biggest lesson that I have learned within 2025 is that awareness is the biggest curse. When I have people ask me why is it so important for me to pursue business or for me to try and build a life so great and extraordinary, I tell them that it's because I'm aware. And it's because I was exposed to so many different things and experiences at such a young age. I got too curious and I learned way too much. And when you become aware, when you open this next level of consciousness, you come to understand that most people don't know what they're doing. Our perception of reality is oftentimes more real than reality itself. And when we come to realize that, we come to realize that everything around us is actually based on a lie, and it's based on perception rather than the truth in and of itself. And that's why you need to be very, very open-minded and have a light conscious to actually understand everything around you instead of taking it from one side and a biased point of view. Every single thing is based on interpretation. So the next time that you have somebody who insults you or who tries to say something, you need to understand that it's because they're not aware. And when somebody actually comes at you and tries to insult you, you have to understand that it doesn't reflect you. It actually reflects their own limits. And oftentimes when you become aware, you will realize everything around you to the point where it almost feels like a curse. And as much as being aware can drive you insane, it is simultaneously a blessing in disguise. When you become aware, you can look beyond the perception that has been placed upon everybody, and you stop interpreting from what is placed upon you and you start looking at things for what it actually is. So oftentimes people will see failure, hardship, and pain as something that is bad and painful and destructive. But when you stop trying to interpret it that way, trying to interpret it as a biased point of view, and you start to understand that pain, hardship in and of itself isn't necessarily bad. It's just what it is. Because with hardship, there's also the benefit of character development. Yes, you have to go through the phase where you are faced with all these obstacles that are difficult to tackle and that are very uncomfortable. But oftentimes that's not actually a bad thing. It's a blessing in disguise, but people only interpret it from the actual painful bias instead of what it actually is. So make sure that you keep an open mind when you face situations like these. Stop trying to view things from one biased point of view and start seeing things for what they actually are. So remember that being aware doesn't mean you know everything. It just means that you see things for what they are instead of a biased point of view that will completely shape your reality. And I have learned so many other things within 2025 that I wouldn't even be able to fit in a single video. But learning all these different things, experiencing every single thing that I have experienced has truly changed me so much as a person. By learning and experiencing and understanding all these different things, I have been able to learn so much as a person that has allowed me to optimize so many things in my life, not just in terms of business and how I work and within everything that I'm doing in my business in terms of systems and operations, but also in terms of myself, in terms of my spirituality, in terms of my mindset, and in terms of my character. 2025 has changed me in ways that I would have never been able to fathom at the beginning of the year. And as a new and even one of the most life-changing chapters rolls around, I'm here to optimize and position myself for guaranteed success. Also considering the fact that this is my last year in high school, and after that it is truly about going all in. So as 2026 rolls around, I have envisioned so many things that I want to pursue within this new year. I have so many visions that I want to pursue and actually work towards, not just in terms of like, oh, I want to hit $30,000 a month, but also what it is that I need to build and the input that I need to have, but also who it is that I need to internally become. For my business, I'm gonna work on having a sharp, executed system for every operation. I'm talking about creative production, I'm talking about backend, I'm talking about sales, appointment setting. I don't just want to have a lucky month where I hit $30,000 and be happy, but I want to know that it's something that I can continuously and predictably repeat. Because even this year, I had one of my best months that I had ever had, and I was still unhappy because I knew that I wouldn't be able to predictably do it again. And apart from that, I want to make sure that it's not just within my business, but within my client results. At the end of the day, your business is all about the value that you provide and the result that you give to others. So while everybody is focused on trying to make money from themselves, yourselves, if you actually want to build something real, you need to focus on providing the best value and the best system for other people, and you will get paid by consequence. This also means having a lean team that will help me throughout this entire process. And this is something that I will be documenting continuously on this YouTube channel. I'm not looking to be a solopreneur. I'm not looking to be a little creator that gets to have, you know, I don't know, like a lifestyle in Bali and make 10K a month. I'm trying to build a real company. And with that, you have to be a leader. You have to build a lean team. This doesn't mean having hundreds of employees, but having a select amount of people that will help you with what is needed. If you want to be a CEO, if you want to build a business, if you want to build a company, it all comes down to you and how you guide people. You are the decision maker. Therefore, you need to be the one that sets yourself down and map everything out. And I honestly feel that everything that I'm mentioning right now in terms of my visions for 2026 isn't anything new. This is something that I'm continuously working towards every single day, and that I have realized even within these past 2 months, because I'm not gonna wait for a New Year's to actually start working towards what it is that I know I need to start working towards. So anyways, I just looked at the time right now. It's 6 p.m. and I have to go watch the sunset, but I just wanted to film this YouTube video to really document just how much has changed and how much I've learned in such a short, quick amount of time. I can't wait to see what God has waiting for me within this new year. And as always, as continuously, I'm going to be documenting everything on this YouTube channel, because my vision for the long term is truly making my life a movie, making it a story that is completely undeniable. And that comes down to really showing the entire process. So I'm gonna go watch the sunset, but I will see you guys in the next one.